Guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of The Fishing Teacher. Thanks for checking out today's video, much appreciated. And guys, today we're going to give you tips and advice how to fish standing timber. If you got standing timber in the lake that you fish, this is going to be a good video for you guys. Sort of give you a foundational approach to it, how I like to go about it. Also guys, real quick before we get started, just want to remind everybody to check out our September sale. It's running down on my Solar Bat Series RB2 series sunglasses. If you buy a pair by the end of the month, 30% off on them, plus any purchase over $56, you get a $30 grab bag full of sunglasses. So I'll put the link in the description of the video. Much appreciated. Okay guys, here's sort of, we'll give you guys sort of a basic 101 beginning foundational understanding about fishing standing timber, because there's a couple different variables to it. When you're talking about how to fish standing timber and where the fish are at and the techniques, everything has to do with the water depth and the water clarity around the standing timber. Now, standing timber can be in a lot of different depths. For the most part, it's going to be in usually water of less than 50 foot deep. It's a really big tree to be standing out of the water if it's over 50 feet. So you're talking about most standing timbers in less than 50 feet of water. Now, a couple different considerations. One of the first things that you have to be aware of when you're fishing standing timber is where the creek channel is. Because if you look on your mapping on your GPS or lake map, and you're back in a creek or something with standing timber, there's a ledge or there's a lip where that creek channel comes up against the standing timber. These are always key areas. If you can find standing timber next to the old creek channel, that's like a highway for the bass. That's like one of the oldest known bass habitats, you know, for the past 50 years, a standing timber next to a creek channel. And that's just, you know, sort of a good migration route for them. Now, other areas that standing timber is good, in my opinion, is if it's in shallow water next to the bank or in the back of the coves, especially if you have a little bit off-colored water, because that's going to put those fish in an ambush mood around those shallow targets. And the third type of standing timber is the standing timber that's in the middle of the coves, like in what we call the ditch or the deepest part of the cove towards the back end of it. Those are going to be the best areas. But when you are trying to make a determination on how to fish standing timber and the techniques, again, it's a combination of water clarity and water temperature and water depth, all that type of stuff. A general rule of thumb overall is if you have water visibility that's over 4 feet, you're going to have a lot of fish that suspend in that timber. They're not going to be really on the bottom very much. They're going to be in a little bit deeper water for the most part, unless it's the springtime of the year, and they're going to suspend in those timbers. So if you're fishing real clear water, like I said, water visibility is 4 or 5 feet or more, try moving out on some of the deeper timber and fishing suspended around it, like with drop shots or swim baits. You know, something like that you can reel horizontal to the water column. Now, as the water visibility decreases, you need to move shallower with that timber as the visibility decreases. Now, say for example, if the fish are in 40 or 50 feet of water and they're suspended, if you have 5 foot of clarity, if you have 5 or 6 inches of clarity, those fish are going to be up on the bank next to any standing timber or stumps that are in really shallow water. Usually in less than 5 feet of water. And there's the distribution of the fish between this real shallow, dirty water where the fish are actually in less than 3 feet of water or so, versus when they're in really clear water suspended, is relative to the water clarity. As that water clarity gets more like 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot clarity, that's when a little bit deeper timber is going to work, and vice versa. So that's a big consideration to make. But a couple different things is the way that fish use standing timber, a lot of it has to do with the seasonal patterns of it, because in the winter time, like I said, those fish are going to be suspended out deeper over the standing timber. In the springtime of the year, when those water temperatures are in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, they're going to be around the shallow standing timber in the coves. And then again, in the summertime of the year, as it gets hotter, they're going to be out in the deeper trees suspended. And in the fall time of the year, as the water begins to cool off again back into the 50s, that is when they're going to use the shallower part of the wood. But every lake is different that has standing timber. Some lakes have different type of trees. Some have more limbs, some are straight pole timber. And there's a variety of different depths and water clarities along with the species of bass that you have. The more diverse you have of a species of bass, say for example, if you have a lake that has a lot of largemouth spotted bass and smallmouth bass, there's going to tend to be more suspended fish in those trees. But if you have a straight largemouth lake, they're going to tend to be shallower on the standing timber there. So anyway, that's just an overview, guys. We could do a 2-hour-long video on this topic, but I just sort of wanted to give you guys just a little taste of what the standing timber is about. And we'll do more videos on it in the future. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you.